Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's weekly Penn State Wrestling Media Zoom. Today, we've got head assistant coach Casey Cunningham joining us as we get ready for a trip down to Florida for some dual meets in the Destin area. And we'll go ahead and get started. Greg Pickle, first question for Casey.
Hey, good morning, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Good morning.
Coach, how are you guys doing from a health perspective? Obviously, you had some wrestlers who were not available for the last two dual meets. Where are you at this point? And do you feel like you're in a good place getting ready to head down to Florida?
Yeah, hopefully we're through all the sickness. I think we're in a pretty good spot. I think we should have most everybody in our lineup this coming weekend. But, you know, we got well, I guess it's Monday, but we got a whole nother week. But for the most part, I think everybody will be ready to go. Yeah, we went through it. We had a couple of weeks of pretty bad flu and everything else that was going around. So I think we're in a good spot now, but I don't want to talk too soon.
Nate?
Hey, Casey. Just wondering, two-part question, really. One is, how many are you guys allowed to take down to Florida? And is the group, so to speak, determined as far as like what all wrestlers are going?
I think we're going to travel about 15 guys, and that group is not necessarily determined yet. Obviously, we have to be able to cover all of our weights. You know, we were at Penn and we had a guy get sick and we didn't have someone. We had a 97 that was going to go up and cover, but we got to make sure that we got everything covered if we have to. So, you know, I think we'll have 15 or 16 guys down there. And, you know, I mean, we're really looking forward to this. We're going to wrestle some great teams down there. So it should be a great opportunity for our guys.
Mike Finn, I saw you had your hand raised. Do you have a question?
Yes, I did, Pat. Casey, a lot of people, unfortunately, are confusing this with the national duels like it used to be. I know you and Cal probably have talked about what did you like about this format and the fact that people do have a hunger for national duels. What are your feelings on the future of such a thing?
Well, you know, we've gone back and forth on this national duel things. We're not opposed to a national duels, but we don't think it should count as the national championship. And I think that was the push for a while there was, you know, let's make the national duels the national championship. And we're not for that. And so that's kind of why we kind of moved away from the national duel things. We like the idea of that, but not what they were trying to make it. So this going down here, we get a chance to wrestle three really good teams. It's not going to determine the national championship this coming weekend, but we're going to get to wrestle three great teams. There's a couple pools set up. Teams that would see each other during the year aren't going to wrestle each other because we'll already see those guys during the year. So we're trying to get some matchups that, you know, maybe we wouldn't see. So that's kind of how the whole national duel things, like I said, we like the idea of having the national duels, but not what they were trying to make it.
Great. Thanks, Casey.
Jim Carlson?
Casey, if you know, you're just talking about the format and what's the downside then of crossing over and you know, you're not going to see Iowa, things like that, but is there a downside of crossing over? If you believe in the format, why wouldn't you want to wrestle the other pool champion?
I mean, that would be fine. But I mean, I didn't necessarily set up the format of the event. We were just basically trying to get matchups that we weren't going to see during the year. So we're going to see Northern Iowa, Cornell, and then the winner of Virginia Tech probably and Arizona State. So those are just teams that we wouldn't see. So that's just kind of how it worked out. So they set up the pools that way.
Andy Elder?
Hey, Casey, I know you can't necessarily mention guys you're going to have down there, but considering that seems like 125 and 157 might be a little unsettled, might we see a couple different guys at each of those weights just to see how they are against outside competition and try to put a little finer edge on that decision?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's what will happen. We'll have a couple guys at both of those weights, and you might see, you know, a couple different guys wrestle in those duels. So yeah, I think that's pretty accurate with where we're at there. You know, trying to figure out who will be our guy going forward, and there'll be a chance for more wrestle-offs as the year goes on also.
Ben Surface?
Hey, Coach, I know you said the sickness was kind of behind you guys, but are those guys who missed time previously, are they back to full health, or are they kind of feeling the lasting effects of whatever illness went through your roster?
You know, I think we're back. I think this is a big week for us. Obviously, this is finals week as well. But health-wise, we've got everybody back now, and I think everybody feels pretty good. So I think by next Monday, I mean, we're going to be ready to rock and roll. So yeah, I think we'll be good to go.
Nate?
Casey, years past, the Southern Scuffle has been on the schedule, and a lot of individual tournaments have been on there. Now this year, a little different, just having this dual style tournament. Was there a decision to do that to kind of limit the risk of the wrestlers when it comes to the whole COVID stuff with that situation?
No, I don't think that was what was considered. There's a lot of things you have to consider when you're putting a schedule together. Maybe we'll be back at the Southern Scuffle next year. Just how things worked out this year. Last year was obviously really weird, but how things worked out, this is what worked best for this year. Now we will take a group of guys down to the Scuffle. I'll probably be down there with 6 guys, and then we'll have some red shirts wrestling. So we will have a group of guys down there. But as far as our overall team, this just worked out better this year. And I don't think it was necessarily because of COVID. It's just how our schedule worked.
Zach Allen?
Hey, Coach. Down in Florida, you guys wrestle against Cornell. Obviously, Max Dean transferred from there. Have you talked to him about, going against his former team?
No, we haven't really talked about that. I think he still has a really good relationship with those guys. I don't think he left and it was a bad relationship type thing. So I don't think it's going to be like that. But no, we haven't really talked about that yet. We've been just going week by week and trying to get ready for what's in front of us. So now this week we'll have a chance to look into that a little bit. But I don't think it matters who he's wrestling. He's just going to wrestle hard. That's what we've seen throughout his whole career. That's what we've seen here. So I think that will be the same.
Jim Carlson?
In case you're just talking about Max, you have 2 champions, 2 All-Americans in your final 4 weights. How has Max fit into that role, that rotation, and how does he make everybody better and vice versa?
Well, I think he and Beard have made each other a lot better this year. I know it's a little bit, we got 2 All-Americans at 197 right now. So, that's a good spot to be in for us, but I know it's not fun necessarily for Beard right now. But I think they've made each other better. I think Dean has elevated the room. I think our room has elevated him. So I think everybody around those weights training together has really, it's been a lot of fun to watch. I just think that they're going to continue to push each other to get better. So he just comes in, he's consistent. He wrestles hard every day. And like I said, that's just what we see when he gets in competition. He does the same thing. In practice, he does the same thing. So it's been really good for our room.
Andy Elder?
Casey, continuing on talking about Max, I know he's been talented since he first went to Cornell, and I know he brought those things to your room. Did he always do the bow and arrow and some of the things from on top, or is that your influence showing through?
I can't take credit for any of that stuff. He did that. He's done that for a long time. Obviously, guys are successful for a reason. So when guys come here, we're not trying to change them. Same thing with Max. He's done that for a long time. But if we can help make something a little bit better, we're going to try to do that. I don't know how much we've helped him with that. He's been good with that. Obviously, we try to do a little bit tweaks here and there. And we saw the last match, he got the pin. He made some of those adjustments. So we're just going to help guys try to get better at what they do already. And same's the case with him.
Richie Schneiderite?
Hey, Casey, I wanted to ask you about Alex Facundo. I know he's only been to 1 open so far. Is the plan to redshirt him, or do you kind of want to get him to a couple more events?
Yeah, that's the plan right now. I think Creighton Edsel is doing a great job for us. He's figured out how to win a couple matches that were pretty tight. He's done a good job. Facundo, he's going to wrestle in some more tournaments. We'll probably see him at the Scuffle. He's tough. He's a world medalist, a couple-time world medalist, so he's really tough. But for right now, yeah, he's redshirting, and Edsel's doing a good job.
Jim Carlson?
Yeah, you had mentioned your schedule, Casey, down in Florida. Could you just go into a little bit more detail about the Cornell, Northern Iowa, and what do you think about those 2 teams?
Well, they're both solid teams. Obviously, Northern Iowa always has guys that wrestle really hard. They're coached well. We're going to see a guy at 184 that was, took third in the country last year for Brooks, and up and down their lineup, they got tough guys. They got a guy at 25 that wrestled here. So they've got a really solid team. And then everybody knows Cornell has a great team as well. So we're going to have a lot of great matchups with those guys. And so I'm just excited to see our guys wrestle guys of that caliber right now. So we're really excited about it. And there's a lot of matches that I think could go either way. I'm confident in our guys if they do what they're capable of, but that's what makes wrestling fun. We get to figure it out on the mat.
Nate Cobbler.
Casey, is there anything you guys are looking to maybe try to build upon or learn about maybe from the team with these duels? Like, what's the general idea that you guys are trying to get out of it as coaches?
Well, we always talk about, we don't talk a ton about winning and losing our program. Obviously, we want to win. We want to win everything that we're in. We just don't talk about that a lot. We want our guys to wrestle hard, try to score a lot of points. So going down here, no matter who we're wrestling, we want our guys just to be consistent and wrestle hard and try to score points like we always talk about. And I think doing that, you see our guys get better as the season goes, because that's the focus. It's we're not worried about making mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. We just want you to wrestle hard, try to do things that you've been working on in the room, continuing to try to get better, not holding on to a lead, not trying to win by a point, that type of thing. So that's what we're looking for when we go down here. Another opportunity to wrestle good guys. But really it's a wrestling match. We want to train like crazy for this. So just go enjoy it. Enjoy the opportunity to go out there and scrap for 7 minutes and let's see what happens. Because if you let it rip, then we know what we got to work on. If you don't, if you just try to stand around, well, it's hard for us to know, what we got to help you with.
All right. Anything else for Casey? Jim Carlson, one more. Go ahead.
You mentioned the scuffle, Casey. Would that be a place for some of you guys you want to redshirt, like Facundo, Van Ness, guys like that?
Yeah, I think Facundo will be in there. Not sure on Van Ness, but we'll have a couple of our red shirts there. And then some of our guys that we want to get some more matches in. Maybe we'll have somebody at 57, at 25, 97, some of those weights where we've got some guys battling things out. We'll have a few guys there making sure that they're getting the matches that they need. So I think we'll have a pretty good squad down there, maybe 8, 9 guys.
Anything else? All right. Well, Casey, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you
for stepping in. You did a great job.
Oh, hi. Thanks, buddy.
All right. And folks, that's it. With no athletes today because it's finals week. So I'll send out a notice as to when we're going to speak heading into the Big Ten openers in January. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.